Hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, stuffforsanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on, I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. Stuffforsanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Man, no matter how many times I see that commercial, it makes me smile. Thank you to Stuff for Santa for being a friend of the show and for providing 95% of my wardrobe. I laugh that, my money goes to the bank and Stuff for Santa. That's about it. So, our good friend Spangle there. Welcome, everybody. It is August 1st. I'm glad to see everyone tonight. It's good to see you, Miss Sue. Hey, Nathan. Hey, how's everyone doing? I see Lance is in here. Goodness gracious. Gary, Kevin, AJ, Paul, some dude named Roger, or his name is Smithig. So it's good to see everybody. Tonight's going to be really informal. We had a guest that unfortunately couldn't make it, but that's okay. We'll have Santa's Taylor here in the next couple weeks. Tonight, in lieu that I have COVID brain right now, I was talking with Wingnut, and I was thinking I was going to ask everyone for tips of the Santa season or Christmas performer season. What kind of tips do you recommend for people? What's some cool things that you do? And Wingnut's like, no, wait, everyone's sick of tips. I'm like, you're right. We do it all the time. So do the other shows. She's like, why don't you ask people about traditions? Traditions that started them in the business that they still keep, traditions as children, traditions that you've created with your family, and even traditions that you've started with visits, when you're going to a family year after year, traditions that you start with them. For example, one of my favorite traditions is when I was young. My brother's like 2.5 years younger than me, and my mom would put us down for a nap. And at the end of the nap, if we were good, we could wake up from our nap and Santa would put another Christmas decoration out. And we could wake up from our nap and find that Christmas decoration. It was really cool. Looking back now as a 50-year-old adult, my mom was on to something, that's for sure. So getting us to take a nap like that. But that was one of our most treasured traditions. And that couple weeks before Christmas Eve, Santa would come at night and put the tree up. We'd come down like one random Tuesday morning and the tree would be up, and that would be really cool. So I'm going to turn the meeting over to y'all. What are your favorite traditions? What do you like to do at the holidays? What did you start with your family? And what do you do with your visits? Nathan, you start.
On the spot. I love it.
What you get?
For me, ultimately stems from why I got into being Santa. I got really sick of Santa being in jeans and chainsaw cutting gloves. It's supposed to be a magical thing. So my kids were just disappointed year after year. So when I became Santa, it's like, okay, how do you bring magic to what you do? And so why we all do what we do. So for that, it's an experience. We all know what we do is an experience. So one of the experiences we do every year is we go and we get a Christmas tree. We cut it down. We spend a day at the farm. We let the kids run through the field. And, I like this one. I like that one, for all the reasons. And then with that, get hot cocoa or popcorn or candies or whatever, and just make it an entire day. So a big tradition is just, that family day leading up to the holiday, really, And then beyond that, come home and everybody decorates. You know, the kids get their individual ornaments after I do all the lights, and it's like everything comes out and it's bam, here's the official kickoff to Christmas. Although throughout the month of October and November, you know, things are getting put out, but the big things like the tree and that, it's kind of our biggest decoration. So the experience to the Christmas season.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. All of a sudden, the world turns magical and sparkling. I like that. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. So, who else would like to share any traditions that they have? I'm just going to randomly call on people. Jeff. Jeff Willett.
Well, my sister's birthday is on December 15th. So that's when we would put up our tree when we were kids. And you know, she still does it to this day, right on her birthday. But for me, it's just, you know, I don't really think we had any real big thing besides going to grandma's and hanging out, you know, a week before Christmas and then showing up on Christmas morning with her. No, that was it.
That's still really nice. It's really nice. You know, my birthday's a little bit after Christmas, and I know birthdays right before Christmas and right after Christmas could sometimes get lost in the shuffle. So it's good that you guys made a point to put it up in there. So very good. How about you, Gary?
Well, as far as, it's just family time, basically. It's family in and out, going here and there, just enjoying the season.
And I think that's great. I think in the hustle and bustle, a lot of people forget to sit back and enjoy it, especially Christmas performers like ourselves. You know, take this year, for example, it's a shorter year. You know, you're running crazy. You just you don't have the time. So it's good to sit back and have some time with family. So that's way cool. It's way cool. Who else would like to go? Go ahead, Kringle. Hey, Ken. What's your favorite Christmas tradition?
Ken Kringle or Kringle Ken?
I'm gonna go Ken Kringle.
Oh, okay. well, my real name is Ken Ray, so I'm the man with two first names. So Kringle Ken, Kringle Kid, right? Answer to it all.
All right, very good.
Well, obviously, I've always loved Christmas, and I grew up, and when we would, my dad would give us a budget of $100, and back in those days, we'd get the J.C. Penney and the Sears Christmas catalogs,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm a list maker. And so I would make list after list and I'd total it up. Oh, that's too much. I'd take that off. Oh, now what could I choose? And so I would spend probably weeks agonizing over what selections I wanted out of the J.C. Penney Christmas catalog mostly. and and so and it all miraculously appeared on Christmas morning. So that was always something I did. And then on Christmas Eve, we always got to open one present. And I had this one special aunt. My dad was one of 10 children, supposedly. And but we had this one special aunt that he always lived with. She was the oldest of the children. He was the next to the youngest. And so she always gave the best present. So on Christmas Eve, we always opened Cat and Johnny's present. Later on, after she had passed away, I found out that in actuality, it was my grandmother, and I was her oldest grandson. And so it dawned on me. Now I knew why I was always her favorite, and I often wish I had known about it then. But one of my best Christmas traditions was opening the present from Cat and Johnny on Christmas Eve.
That is beautiful. That's way cool.
Lincoln Logs, Tinker Toys, she always gave the best present ever. And so that was what I looked forward to the most.
Yeah, I loved, like, my grandfather was like always, like, now they call it STEM, but back in our days we just called it geek gifts, and I would always get like Lincoln Logs or Tinker Toys or robots or rocketries and stuff like that. So that was my Christmas Eve too. That's awesome. Miss Sue, what about you, dear?
There we go. Hi. Our family always opened presents on Christmas Eve. And when we were little, we'd go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. And as soon as we were asleep, my parents would, Santa would come, and he had lots of helpers helping him come. And there might have been some alcohol involved too sometimes.
Christmas cheer.
And Santa would, as Santa was leaving, he always made some noise, like rang a bell or slammed the door, and we'd wake up. And then we'd go open all of our presents. And my grandma and grandpa would come from Illinois and show up in the middle of all this mayhem. And other cousins and aunt and uncles would show up in the middle of the night and watch us open our gifts. And then everybody would leave and we'd go to bed. And Christmas morning, we would have to be very quiet, but we could get up and play with our toys so mom and dad could sleep in.
That's so much fun.
Yep. So
That's-
Christmas Eve, yep.
Christmas Eve was always a magic time too.
Mhm.
You know, everything was like quiet and still, and then all of a sudden it turned into chaos the next morning, which was great. Thank you guys so far for sharing. I really appreciate that.
Welcome.
How about AJ? What's your favorite Christmas tradition, dear memory?
I don't have one, but
What's your favorite thing about Christmas? You're not getting out of this, Pally. Nice try.
probably when I was 9, I got a Star Wars set
Cool.
for Christmas, and that was probably my favorite Christmas memory.
That's pretty cool. Very
Yeah.
nice. So, you know, Christmas memories are all different things, you know. And I don't know about you guys, but a smell or a sight of something or just the way the wind blows kind of invokes those memories sometimes all throughout the year. And it's just great. So, let's see here. Paul, I didn't torment you yet, did I?
No, you didn't.
There we go. Everyone keeps
I'm
looking
thinking,
around
of,
on me.
well, it was 5 kids
Mm,
and it was, gifts were all handed out. You couldn't just rush and open up all your presents. Like, however it worked, however started it, and it went down the line. So everybody opened their one present, everybody saw it, then you went to the next one. And then you'll get one present each time, and you had to, then that carried on, and I did it with my own kids. I only have 2, but it was all, everybody took turns opening their gift, showing the gift that they got, and going from there. And then we always have, one of the big things, we used to have 9, I think I had 15 for breakfast one morning with just family, and we always have, like, as it became known, a gutbuster breakfast. So like I said, but I was always up real early, getting a bird going and then doing all the breakfast cooking. So
that sounds fun, though. I like the Gutbuster breakfast idea. That's
yeah. Well, what you really want to know what entails. It was scrambled eggs with stuff, bacon, sausage. Let's see, we had pancakes, we had home fries. Because my brother-in-law, he was Scottish, so we had the other sausage, like the real dark blood sausage.
what
like,
sausage?
yeah,
Okay.
all that good stuff. So yeah,
Got
and the patty scones. So
Oh,
yeah, we had a big spread going on.
that's awesome. I mean, what don't you cook good? Every time I see you, you're cooking something. So
Oh, that's just the way it is.
it
You're
sounds-
gonna have to make that trip up next April for our Southern Ontario gathering.
I have the passport. Then I also know I'm living in a border state and I have a star license, so I will be there.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely coming up. You can't keep me away. The only thing keeping
Okay.
me away right now is COVID. So,
Yeah.
oh man. So how about you, Kevin?
Oh, ours, when I was growing up, we would have Christmas morning where everybody would we took turns opening presents. And when that was all done, we'd get cleaned up and dressed up and go to my aunt's house. And that's where we had the Christmas dinner, was there. And it was, that was always something nice. She had one of those white tinsel trees,
Oh, yeah.
aluminum trees with the little light on the bottom that would go around and around and
That's
change the
awesome.
color. So that was always kind of cool. But after growing up, I think probably, the Christmas Eve service with, the candlelight and singing, the Silent Night, and that was always a big one for us, when the kids were growing.
That was beautiful. Yeah, I love the Silent Night Christmas Eve at church. Did they have candles and hand out the candles?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was way
Yep.
cool. Way cool. That's beautiful. I can almost picture it. It's very nice. Thank you.
And my wife was always one that would make sure that each of our boys had exactly the same amount of presents. And they'd take turns opening them. They always ended up together. So she didn't want anybody to feel like they were getting shafted or anything like that,
That is
by not getting the same amount of presents. But yeah, that was always fun.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, man. I appreciate you. All right. I'm going to come on down to Lance, then Kathy, then Tammy. Kathy just joined us. I don't know if Kathy had a chance. We're talking about our favorite Christmas traditions and memories right now. Go ahead,
Well,
Lance.
Thank you. I'm here. When I was growing up, my father had a good old fashioned 40 years service kind of job. So by the time I was in my teenage years, he had so much what we now call PTO, it used to be called vacation time. He would have off the entire 12 days of Christmas. So from Christmas until the 7th, he would be off and we'd have family time. My parents are gone now. My wife and I don't have any children, but to this day, whenever we're finished with Christmas on Christmas Day, we jump in the car, head down to the beach, and spend the entire week at the beach relaxing. Anymore, after having 70 to 80 visits, it's like I just lapse into a coma.
Santa needs that relaxation afterward. Yes, sir. Man, it must be beautiful though, just melting at the beach when it's all over, So, and that's a great tradition, man. I love that, Lance. So, how about you, Miss Kathy Fick? Good to see you, my friend.
You too.
Thank you.
Are you feeling better?
No, I feel like I got hit by AJ's truck in his front.
Oh,
It's all right. Doesn't kill me, makes
Well-
me stronger.
I remember some of the things that everybody said, like you have to open the gifts one at a time so everybody could see what you got. And we used to go to my dad's mother's the Sunday before Christmas and celebrate with his side of the family. And then we could open one gift Christmas Eve also, and it was usually new pajamas. So we had new pajamas for Christmas Day for pictures. And then we'd open our gifts at home and go to my mom's parents in Milan and with her sister and spend the afternoon there. And two things I really remember, well, three, going to the Ford Rotunda to see Santa. And one year my mom wanted an osterizer. They were called osterizers back then, not blenders. And my dad let her open her present early. So she got to open it Christmas Eve so she could use it Christmas Day. And then when we opened presents, I opened a box just like Mom's. And I was like, oh, I got a blender just like Mom's. And I opened it and it was actually a wooden clarinet that they had bought me for band. So everybody was laughing at me. And all day long, all I heard was, I got one just like Mom's. And it wasn't anything at all like hers. They had just used the box because the clarinet fit in it perfectly. And then one year I really wanted, it was either Tiny Tears or Chatty Cathy, I can't remember, but I didn't get it at home and I was upset because Santa forgot what I wanted. And we got over to my grandparents' afternoon and he had left it over there.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Special memories for sure. I
Yeah.
know what it's like reusing boxes, you know, definitely. I can understand that. My parents are creative with that. How about you, Tammy? Hello, dear.
Hi, I'm driving because I needed to get something else from the store.
Okay.
But
can you mind-
the sad thing is I really don't remember anything for Christmas for my childhood. And as I was looking back through pictures, I kind of asked my mom, I said, why don't we have any pictures of things like birthdays or Christmas or I mean, there was one picture that had a Christmas tree and a present underneath it, but it didn't have any of us or anything. And I'm like, I don't ever remember visiting Santa and I don't remember any Christmases, and that's kind of odd. But so my first Christmases that I really remember were when I went with my husband college, visiting his parents and grandparents. And so we've kind of made our own traditions and our own things that we do. So with my kids, they always made their own Christmas ornaments and painted them, and we put the year on them so that, you know, once they were older, then they would have all of their own set of Christmas ornaments that they made from day one when they were a baby, even though they were just little handprint things that they would put on the ornaments. And then now we just kind of every year we look at those ornaments and we talk about why we remember ornaments that we bought or what they mean to us as we're putting them back up on the tree. And we try to go out and do things like a sleigh ride or something like that. So just making memories like that hopefully my kids will, and they do right now, they're continuing with the grandkids.
That's amazing. That are.
And are you taking pictures?
Oh, yes, yes. My husband criticizes me because I have too many pictures. He's like, you have too many pictures. You don't need 1,000. I'm like, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Gotcha. Well, see, that's good making memories, though. How about you, Roger?
I got two. So first one is a person, and every year my dad bought us a Hot Wheels car, at least one or two, and it always went in the stocking, so we always knew what it was. And I'm 38 years old, and I still get two Hot Wheels cars every Christmas from him. And if he doesn't have one, he will go out to the store Christmas morning to Kroger's or wherever he can find one to buy it just to wrap it up. So we started doing that with our boys, and last year we did not give them Hot Wheels, and boy, they let us know that they did not get Hot Wheels. So looks like this year we're going to have to double up. And then the second one is something I started doing with my home visits, and it came out of the issue of, do you know my elf's name? So I would get all of the elf names from the parents, and I wrote them down. I have a Santa book that has Believe engraved on it in the leather cover. So I would write down all the elf names and whether they're naughty or nice, or if they were somewhere in between. And I would tell the kids that Mrs. Claus is sending me to check up on the elves. So if I don't have an elf name and someone new is there, I just write it down and they don't care. And then I go through all of them and we talk about all of them. And then I don't know why I did it, but after I did that, I had all of the children sign their name in my book at each visit.
That's awesome.
So I've got several different home visits that I did that have all these kids' names on it. And let's see, where is the one? Let's see, it's this one right here. I don't know if you guys can see how it's you can't read it. You can make out Adam, and that's about it as the last name. But mom tried helping her, and boy, she got mad at mom because she was supposed to sign her name in Santa's book, not mom. So that's something that I'm going to continue this year. I just started it last year, and the kids loved it. They wanted to get pictures with me holding the book with their name in it. So I think it's going to start a nice little tradition for the families that I repeat visit every year.
That is beautiful. Very, very nice. Speaking of traditions, Roger,
Yeah.
why don't we roll a trivia question? Everyone wants to get out their chat. I have 2 questions tonight. The first one will be up. Then afterwards, let's talk about cool things you do at home visits that might cause a memory or a tradition for the family. So here's the first trivia question. Let me try to spotlight this here. Slow, sorry. What unlikely duo recorded the song Peace on Earth, Little Drummer Boy in 1977? And tell me, did both live to see it produced?
Are we supposed to answer?
Yeah, type the answer in your chat, in
Thank
the
you.
chat. And what we'll do is we'll pick one out of all the right answers will go into a numerator. I think that's the right word. And I will pick out a winner, which will go into the drawing for a scholarship to North Pole Cornerstones in January this year with the North Pole Cornerstone team in San Antonio. So we'll definitely put that in for TNL. So what unlikely duo recorded the song Little Drummer Boy, Peace on Earth in 1977? And did both of them live to see it produced on television or on vinyl or any forms? So, do we have any answers yet, Roger?
Nope. Don't see anybody. Oh,
Oh,
AJ. David Crosby and David Bowie.
David Crosby. You're talking like Crosby, Stills, and Nash? Close. Close. I need Hey, who did
Lance
that?
sent me a message.
All right, which generation X or boomer? Which generation X or boomer is doing that? Okay. Okay. There we
Lance
go.
messaged me, and he got Bing Crosby and David Bowie.
Yep, so did Paul. Bing Crosby and David Bowie. And Paul had the answer no. Can someone tell me who did not live to see it produced? I'll throw in an extra scholarship to chance for School of Santas.
Lance said Bing.
Okay. So far, Lance and Paul, very good job, guys. Who did not live to see it published?
Lance said Bing.
Bing
Oh, okay.
Crosby.
Okay, Lance, you got it. Lance, I'm gonna throw your name into a School of Santa scholarship, and Paul and who's the other one? Paul
AJ.
and AJ.
Paul,
Yeah.
AJ, and Lance.
Yeah, their names will go into. Can you write their names down for me, Roger, please?
Yep.
They'll go into a scholarship for. Yep, North Pole Cornerstones. So perfect. And AJ was Bing Crosby and David Bowie, and Bing Crosby didn't last. Unfortunately, he died 2 weeks before it was produced. So one of my favorite singers of all times. So, but all righty, that was fun. Thank you guys for playing. You know, I'm all in for education, and that's good. Lance has the cat. Make an offer we can't refuse. That's great. So tell me, what do you try to instill with your visits when you're performing? Do you try to create a tradition for the kids to live on? Do you try to help the family with traditions? Do you deliver an elf ahead of time? What do you guys do?
Let's not all jump up at once.
For example,
It's not necessarily I think the visit from Santa is a tradition that we're already fulfilling for a lot of families. So my goal is to make that the most memorable. And Lee Andrews has a motto for when he teaches Santas, and that's to learn to play with the kids. So my Santa, my robe, my suit looks very regal in the photos, and I come in with that more regal look. But the minute I sit down, I'm right at their level. I'm playing with them. I'm joking around with them. I kind of ignore the adults once we get to that point, because it's going to be just a fun time, and I kind of let them dictate where I go based on the stories that I know and the stories that they've heard, the stories that they want to hear. I have Jinx the elf, and this is the third year that I have him, and I had several families that the minute I sat down asked me, did I bring Jinx with me? So I guess in a way that's a tradition as well that I've started with them. They don't care if they've seen him 3 times; they still want to see him again.
Jinx is a big thing. I have people ask me, "Did you bring Jinx?" Maybe he snuck it right in, but yeah. And I also do a thing with the kids, and I'm big in the Keepers of Christmas Magic thing, as you all probably know. But at the end of all visits, what I do is I have the kids put their hands on their hearts, and I tell them, I want you every time that you're sad or scared or lonely or missing Christmas, just to put your hand on the heart and know that Santa loves you and he's very proud of you. And I do that all
This was that was the day in Paris, the evening in Paris. I mean,
Yep. And I come into some of my kids' homes again, and I walk in the house, and they got their hands on their heart, and it's
yeah.
really,
Oh no, they were showing it late, like 11 o'clock.
Mhm.
Yeah, the 20K men's walk.
I haven't been watching the Olympics, but that's pretty cool.
Canadian came in 5th.
Go Canada.
Can't complain, no?
Nope. Anyway, who else has a
Yeah.
thing they like to do at home visits? I know AJ
Yeah.
hasn't done any home visits yet, but
Well, that's what this is. Yeah.
get there. So, which will be good. How about someone else?
One of my favorite bits, if I may.
Yes, please.
It goes over very well every year. And that's whenever I talk to the children and I explain to them that all the things they think that Santa does that is magic. So coming down to Christmas, or coming down the chimney, flying around the world in one night, having flying reindeer. None of that's me. All of that's coming from my wife, Mrs. Claus. She's the enchantress. And that's something that I want you children to understand, is that you all are individuals and you're all terrific, but your magic really comes from your family. It's really, you're going to get your magic from your mom and your dad and your siblings who'll be with you for the rest of your life. Moms just melt when I do that.
Oh, that's beautiful. I might borrow that. No, I'm just kidding. That's really cool.
Please do.
Wow, I have goosebumps. Thank you, man. Anybody else? Anything special they like to, traditionalize at a visit or tell at a visit? Gotcha. So, I just got word from Wingnut. Her sleigh is kind of stuck, and she was dealing with a flood at the racetrack earlier, so she's going to actually be on next week instead. So we'll have to change Sean White to another week. But we're going to give old Wingnut a break this week. I'm sure she's been pushing water and trying to push all them reindeer out of the flood. So we'll give her a little break this week, and we'll have Wingnut on next week instead of Sean. We'll just switch it up a little bit. So she's going to do the art of keeping the heart of a child and the art of being playful next week. So that'll be exciting, because there's always a little play to what we do. We're big kids. We're not all like, behold, I am Santa. No, I mean, we're having fun. I really don't know where that voice came from. That kind of scared me. That's not my Santa voice.
Scared us too, Mel. It's all right.
Hold on. Talk amongst yourself. We'll give you a topic. I'm dying.
Well, I tell you, since Wingnut ain't gonna be on tonight, I think the rest of this Zoom call we all talk like this.
Oh boy, come on, man! I have to live with Wingnut. Do you know how much I hear that voice already?
Well, hell, I'm from Arkansas. We can talk about.
Why wouldn't you want you to be lonely then, would I? I live in Georgia. You know how often I hear this voice every time I go to Walmart and Tom.
Right. That's okay. Mel calls me like 1,300 times a day, so I hear it a lot.
Not 1,300, like 1,299. That's I think you exaggerated. Well, we have to make sure like the vests for the group are coming, and you're the producer, and I have COVID brain and can't remember crap, and you're my brother, and that's the way it goes.
You got COVID brain, and I got MS brain. This is not making out for a good combination here.
I have MS too, so hello. I mean, we're not keeping track. It's not a tally score, producer. Big round of applause for our producer Roger, because apparently I bug the heck out of him every day.
Yeah, well, you know.
But no, we appreciate your hard work, Roger. Thank you.
He deserves it.
He does. Anyone who puts up with you guys
Do
deserves
I deserve the applause or the ridicule, Kathy? That's the question.
Coin.
I'm going to remain anonymous on that.
Yeah. Invoking the fifth. All right, got it.
Yeah, that
You know
too.
what? Let's throw up the other trivia question for fun. Let's do that. What do you think, Roger?
Yeah.
Then we can all talk like hillbillies for a little bit.
Yeah. All right, let me get that over here. Second trivia question.
Let's see. And I'm going to mute myself and get a special for us.
All right, so let me spotlight that. So,
Roger, I'm going to let you read that.
according, what?
I'm going to let you read that. And
Okay, I figured that. According to Buddy the Elf, what are the 4 main food groups?
Candy, candy canes, candy corn, and syrup.
Right, who said that?
Santa Kevin.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see. You were hidden on me.
so Santa Kevin gets another vote in there. Unfortunately, I cannot reach the clown. He always likes to give our show people discounts on his product, and I was trying to see what he would squeak through for us this week, but he must be busy. So, but very cool. That was a good one right off the bat. That apparently right now is my food group, which probably why I'm a very size woman. So, great job, fantastic. And that was Santa Kevin, you said?
Yep.
Great job. Kevin. Very good. Anybody else get it in the chat?
Yeah,
Nope.
Mel.
Yes, sir.
The only problem with you right now is you're doing candy canes, candy corn, and cough syrup.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm freebasing Robitussin. Yeah, it's horrible. And like, I don't know if you could tell, but my fever's back. My face is like bright red, and like I am like freezing and sweating at the same time. So it's making me laugh. So,
Well, and your nose is like a cherry, so you're all ready for the season.
there you go. I'm just gonna throw my suit on and call it a wash, man.
Cheeks like roses, a nose like a cherry.
There you
Mel,
go.
did you take the medication for it?
I'm on Paxlovid. It tastes like I licked a muffler.
You know, I took that and it made me sicker.
Oh yeah, it tastes like.
I took it 2 days and I quit taking it.
No, I took it last time I had COVID and it worked. I took it this time, and although this time I didn't have insurance, so I warn you, if you're ever gonna have Paxlovid, get insurance because it's ridiculous. So, you know, I could think of better things to spend $1,100 on. Paxlovid was not one of them, but yeah, I'm getting better. It's just I just hate it because I had plans this weekend to go to Red Suit Conclave, and I'm gonna miss my friends, and that makes me sad.
You can zoom in.
I'm going to try to sneak in or hack in. Like Bruce Nord is doing my sermon, and Matt Spalding's teaching my class, and Roger.
I'll hack you in.
My vendors. So, but yeah, just zoom in anytime. I'll be happy to say hi. So, but how'd everyone's July go? Did everyone do any Christmas and July events? Yeah, what you do, Kevin?
Yeah, I did a couple campgrounds,
Oh, cool.
and we had a lot of fun with that.
Awesome.
Yeah, the weather was beautiful on both of them, a little on the hot side, but still was very nice. No rain, so that was good. But yeah, I have a well, it's not actually a dunk tank, but it's kind of holds a bucket of water and you sit underneath it. And if the kids hit the target, the bucket of water comes down.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
you know, we had fun with that, especially, and that wasn't so bad, especially when it's 90 degrees, you know?
Amen. Amen. That sounds fun. So that's a good way to stay cool. Anybody
Yep.
else do anything in July? I see
So
someone-
I ended up doing 2 weekends. I didn't plan on doing any this year, but per request of a friend, I did a farmer's market and the Toledo Mud Hens throughout the first pitch and did a bunch of things for them. But I haven't really shared this last Saturday. I got a phone call from a woman that I worked with last year. She's telling me that she's the great aunt to this kid and he's having a Christmas in July birthday and was wondering if Santa could be there. And I was like, no, it's not, not really something I can do. I wasn't planning on doing a second weekend. And she started giving me more of a story. Apparently the family found out this little boy, 4 years old, just got diagnosed with cancer and really wanted Santa at his Christmas in July birthday party.
Oh,
So without thinking about it, I got ready and had to drive the 3 hours there. Luckily, I had enough time to paint my beard on with Ben Nye and the other spray from Spangle, which, by the way, if you have to paint your beard with Ben Nye, use the spray from Spangle. It'll make it pop so much more. It's not a commercial. But, I drove down there and had a wonderful time. He was so surprised. He's like, Santa, you made it for my birthday. I didn't know you got the invite. I explained, I'm like, you're a great aunt. She really loves you, and she made a special phone call to me and told me about your situation. And he's like, so I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I got through the Santa loves you and your family loves you, and I was there for about an hour. And I let him know Santa loves him and everything's gonna be okay. And the mom was like, well, really, how did you know about this? I explained the woman that did it. And she's like, what'd you pay you? I'm like, she didn't actually. She's like, let us pay you. I'm like, no, it's not something I'm going to do. So really an unexpected spin on my July, but really something that I'm glad I did.
I'm proud of you, man. That's awesome. That's a beautiful, beautiful memory you give that kid. See, that's one good thing about us. We are the keepers of Christmas magic. And yep, I'm crying. Thanks, Nathan. But that's a beautiful moment, and it's very important to that child. So good for you, Nathan. That's awesome, buddy.
Be a good memory for him too.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. So I'm so proud of everybody in this group. You are all amazing. So, and on a funny note, to lighten the mood a little bit, I have to go to spring training next year with Nathan because I could not throw a pitch to save my life at the first pitch of the game I threw out. I threw the first grounder out. It was fantastic. I made it about 3/4 of the way there, and it grounded into the pitcher's mitt. But I had fun at my only first Christmas in July game ever when it was hot. So.
But you were a far bigger celebrity than me as Santa at a baseball game. You got to sign autographs and everything.
Yeah, that was weird. I never signed autographs. That was weird. Man, I sat down because I was hot and I'm fat. That was why I was sitting down. And I'm like, little girl comes up and puts this, the Battle Creek Battle Jacks have these like big foam paws that you wave the game. And she put it in front of me and she goes, will you sign this, Santa? And I'm like, I don't have a pen. I look down, there's a red marker right next to me. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing here. And so I pick up the red marker and I signed it. Next thing you know, I had a line of kids. I was signing balls, baseball hats. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I had like Roger Damples, Erica, and her friend there. And I'm like, I hope someone got a picture of that. And they did. So it was kind of fun. It's kind of fun. But my first pitch was very anticlimactic.
I got Santa's autograph, but he throws like a girl.
Yeah, pretty much. What's really embarrassing is I played softball for like 20 years, but it wasn't underhand, but I was just a terrible pitch. And I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but when this is my first, maybe y'all can help me with this. This is my first event where I didn't have like an escort. Normally when I go to like an event, like a volleyball match or like a cheer match or something where Santa's is, I have someone with me all the time. Ask Roger, this dude just left me and said, go what you want, do what you want. And I'm wandering all over this stadium, going up to the press box, broken in the umpire's room, just talking to the food court people. I had no direction, so
None. And they gave Santa's visitors like carte blanche to do what we wanted to.
yeah, they like gave them like sweet seats.
Yeah.
They want. But yeah, I'm not used to not having someone with me telling me what to do. The only thing they told me what to do was I was throwing the thoracic surgeon and myself were throwing out the first pitches together, and we were so close that I was afraid of winging him with my elbow because he was a little guy, little Asian guy, and I didn't want to wing him with my elbow, so I'm like kind of throwing like this, and it was funny. It was funny, but it was a great game. So cool jerseys though, cool jerseys they gave us. But yeah, I'm not used to being left unsupervised.
You didn't tell the ump that reading glasses make a great stocking stuffer, did you?
No, unfortunately, I didn't. I should have. Oh, I think I would have done.
Don't let me go unattended.
Never. So, but I told them next year, I'll just bring my sleigh and park it in the front, and we'll just take pictures. I think that would be a lot better. But yeah, I think if Santa had his progressives on, it would have been better than trying to throw with reading glasses on. So, which is cool. Anybody else do anything Christmas in July? How about you, Ms. Sue? I know you're new this year.
I'm just testing the waters, handing out the little Mrs. Claus caught you being nice cards.
Aww.
I dress up in red and everything, and I'll be at a restaurant and I see somebody with little kids, and I'll hand the card to the mom, and also you can give this to your children later. And I'll go like this, so, and then later they'll give them the card, but they're all just smiling. And my brother took us out for dinner one night, and it's a big bill, so he left a good tip. And before the waitress left, I gave her one of my cards, and she didn't know what it was, but when she came back, she had the biggest smile for me, not my brother. So those cards are really awesome, and it's getting me into the routine and the caricature of being Mrs. Claus.
That is beautiful. That is great.
Testing the waters.
It's okay. Testing the waters is great. And think of the difference you made in those kids' lives. That's cool. That is cool.
I had a gentleman come up to me. He was in his car and he drove over to where I was parked. And he says, I just wanted to let you know that I love your outfit. You really look good. And I said, well, thank you very much. And he says, I don't know what you got going there. And I said, well, just a minute. And I pulled out one of the cards and gave him to him. And he says, oh my goodness. He says, that's amazing. You just made my day. And I said, you know what? You made my day too.
That is sweet. Well,
yeah.
Makes me smile. Now I
And
see
she got Santa True Part 1 last week.
Say what?
She went to Santa True Part 1 last week in Columbus.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very good. Santa True is very, very good.
Yep.
I see Everett, Dana, Charlie, and Judy are here. We talked about a couple things during the meeting. Was your favorite Christmas tradition, and then what traditions you do at home visits, and then if you did any Christmas in July visits. Does any of you three want to weigh in with any of those?
I can.
Go ahead.
Tradition wise, my home traditions came from divorced parents, so I had basically 2 Christmases growing up, and I'd have Christmas at one house and then travel across the state to another state and have Christmas again, with the other parent, and worked out pretty good. And then of course my birthday was in February, so worked out pretty much. Had three gift giving times pretty close. On our home visits, when we do home visits, we do some storytelling. We might do a little, we might make some snow, or we might do, just a lot of different things. We present them with an ornament, a simple ornament that honestly we get either from Walmart or from Hobby Lobby or something, just something memento that we ink, on the back, Mr. and Mrs. Claus visit, 2023, 2024, whatever it is. And then this year for our Christmas in July, Summer with Santa, we did a nursing home visit. Mrs. Claus and I did, and we handed out roses, and we also played snowball pong with them. Instead of beer pong, they got to toss the snowballs into a cup, and they got roses and other surprise. But they really liked the roses. And then we did a high-end restaurant on top of a hotel in downtown Savannah on the riverfront, and for 2 days. And we got sat outside in the sun, tried our best to stay in the shade, and we did pretty good. And we got comped for VIP valet parking, and we got comped for 2 days of meals for my wife and I. So
It's beautiful. That's perfect.
and we got paid.
Hey, can't beat that, man. That's very, very good. Hi, kitty. It's cat night. Lance had his cat. Now you have your cat.
Frosty.
Aw. I've got a terrier who thinks he's a cat, but he's snoring on my couch right now. So this was a jersey they gave me for the
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
it was pretty neat. So I was so hot a minute ago, I had to put the short sleeve shirt on. So, but that's cool. Charlie, how you doing, my friend? Are you there, Charlie?
So this is what I've been doing in the basement.
I don't think Charlie's there. Judy. Judy? Okay. Well, I think we just had some silent listeners, which is good. So, it's amazing how much magic that you bring to people all year long, and that's absolutely amazing. Next, Gary's got to go. Gary, take care of yourself, brother. Good seeing you. Matter of fact, I'm just going to, I think I'm going to wrap up the meeting for tonight. You have to forgive me. I really don't feel well. But anyone have any last thoughts? No, okay. Well, next week I hope to have a special guest on. I will let you know ahead of time exactly who it is. Hopefully they won't cancel on me this time. But until I see you next week, guys, remember, I'm so proud of all of you. You are the keepers of Christmas magic. You do have so much joy in the hearts. And remember, when you look in that mirror, you are Christmas magic. So until next Thursday, on behalf of Roger, myself, Tuesday Night Live, and Santa's Magical Fellowship Group, love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for your well wishes. Take care.
Get better, Mel.
Thank you.